Oh man, what's going on? LBHT crew. We are here on a Friday, so you know something is going on. What is up, B?
A whole lot apparently,
Are
because
we on?
I
Yes,
was
we're
planning
on,
to be
E.
watching Mortal Kombat, and now I'm here.
Yeah, Attitude Pop is here. Yo, what's going on, Attitude Pop? Ron TV is in the house. He
What's
says, I'm going
going
to wait
on?
till the draft ends to give my take on this trade. I hear you. I hear you, Ron TV. Shout out to you for showing to the live stream. Click one is in the house. What's up with all this? All of a sudden, wait, what do you say? What's up? Was
All
this
of a
all
sudden,
on
they're
this?
scheduled.
All of a
Well,
sudden
we're
on the
here
schedule?
because of the
Oh,
Orlando Brown trade.
yeah. You see right there on the ticker.
What's going on,
Tony
Troy? The Trib one. How you doing?
Troy. I keep calling him Tony. I always do this with you, Troy. It's I call you Tony. It's Troy. I'm sorry. Yeah. Happy Friday to you, man. Trib One's in the house. Thank you for joining the live stream. He likes the haul. And let's get into it. Me and B like it as well. I know a lot of people aren't really that happy with it, but I mean, we've been saying Orlando Brown is not an elite tackle, all right? And you weren't going to get a huge haul for him, but getting a first round pick, I mean, I like it. I like the move. I mean, you always wish you can get more, obviously, but that's the best deals you can get. Then you take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, like you said, he's not an elite tackle. He's a good tackle. He's got experience playing a little bit. He's got experience playing on both sides. He was a left tackle in college. Played the last half of last year at left tackle. Played a couple of years at right tackle. So I mean, he's obviously a valuable player. He's a young guy, but he's on his last year of his deal, and he wants a massive contract. So that's always going to bring his value down. They're never going to get a huge haul of picks for him. So now they're sitting there with 27. They got 31 also, no second round pick, a couple of late thirds. They got a couple of fourths, a couple of fifths. So I mean, they have plenty of picks at this point, and yeah, it's just a matter of what they're going to do. Honestly, I'm thinking wide receiver or tackle at 27, and trading back with that 31st pick.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen too. I prefer they package those picks and trade up. I don't care about getting a whole bunch of draft picks. I mean, we do this every year. I told you they have to have double digit draft picks because they feel like that increases the chances of getting good players. But I'd rather have more draft picks early or a very high draft pick to get a special player. All right, especially since the last few drafts, they haven't been that great. E, what's going on, E?
What's
Thank you
up,
for
E?
joining the live stream, man. Appreciate you. And I read Rodney Hale, thank you for joining the live stream. Big Zach 410. Rodney says he thinks the Chiefs trade or win the trade because they got the second round pick. And Big Zach says get Jenkins at 27 and at 31st get a pass rusher. Look, I want all offense. Okay, get a wide receiver and then get your tackle. That's how it should be. We wasted too much time not building up this offense, and we're behind, and we need to make up for it by getting some talent there. So pass rush, get in the third. Got 2 third round picks now. Hey, you like having all these draft picks, right? You like having all these draft picks. Get your defense in the later half of the draft, right? Make it work. Oh, man, Davon Johnson's in the house.
What's up,
LBHT
Davon?
crew. What's going on, Davon? Happy Friday. Oh, what is that?
Just what it is, unprofessional. That's what it is. My word. My goodness.
Okay. There we go. I think I got this stuff. Yeah.
Big Zach says we don't pass the ball. Yeah, no, and that's a problem, Big Zach. That's not we need to continue down that path. That's an issue that they need to change. They're the defense and run first team, right? And they've had a top 5 defense the last 3 years. They've been the best run team in the league the last 3 years, and it doesn't work. They get to the playoffs and their offense gets embarrassed. They need to pass the ball.
Wait, which one are we looking at?
I was responding to Big Zach.
Big Zach. Okay. Yeah. All right, we missed a few comments here. The Trib One says the only thing better would have been to trade Zeus our second and third this year, and a future second for a top 10 pick to get Jamar Chase.
It would have taken more than that to get into the top 10 to get a player like Jamar Chase. But I would be all for them, going for it. Absolutely.
King of Pugo,
what's up, King of Pugo?
On? Appreciate y'all coming through on a Friday.
It's Giro and wide receiver, Big Zach. Those wide receivers are not good. I mean, Hollywood's fine, but Miles and Duvernay and Prochet, it's not a good group.
Yeah. King of Pugo doesn't like the trade. He thinks it's a bad trade. Deep Mahmood, thank you for joining the live stream. He says apparently Orlando won't commit to an extension, which hurts his trade value. Oh, well. I like that we have the 27 and 31st. Jenkins and Phillips would be great with the first two picks. That's the other thing, too. We didn't hear any deal announced, any extension announced. So, you're absolutely right. That could have hurt the compensation, right? So, essentially, what they said was all the picks swapping back and forth, everything amounted to basically we traded Orlando Brown for a second round pick. Right. Yeah. You could say, oh, that's low. But if they traded for Orlando Brown and they don't sign him, you gave away a second round pick for a 1 year player. Right. So I understand the risk there. And, look, all that trade value talk like, oh, essentially it's a second round pick. No, it's a first round pick. You got a first round pick. I don't care about second round picks, especially this team. I don't care about the second round picks. We almost never hit on them. So who cares? Give it up. Right.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 first round picks that we had.
Yeah. And I do agree with a lot of people in the chat that they should stick right there and take 2 players. I just don't personally think that's what they're going to do. They love trading back. But yeah, and Adib brings up a point here about Villanueva. That they're talking about signing him after the draft, which brings me to really my biggest issue with this whole thing. Because, I think it's a pretty decent trade for both sides. Chiefs get a guy at left tackle, and now they have some competition for Mike Remmers because you absolutely should not be handing a job to Mike Remmers, any job. Right. But, for the Ravens, Villanueva, I don't think is an acceptable substitute for Orlando Brown. And even I see a lot of people saying he's a good tackle. He's a started quality tackle, and he went to the Pro Bowl, didn't give up any sacks last year. And my thing is like, if you believe he's that good, why are you waiting to sign him until after the draft? Why are you leaving it open to the possibility of somebody else bringing him in?
Yeah. Well, apparently, I guess they came to an agreement. Living Legend, what's going on, man? I see you in here, man. Appreciate you. G-Star 007, man. Appreciate y'all coming through.
G-Star. Look, they might have come to an understanding. They didn't come to an agreement, and things change.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's break this down. If the Ravens, if their plan was to move on all along for Orlando Brown, they should have been a lot more aggressive on the O-line, right? I was telling B before we came on air that, there's still question at left guard, at center, and now right tackle. And all we did was sign Kevin Zeitler. Saying we have Bradley Bozeman on the team isn't an answer. We had him last year, right? He was okay at times, but he wasn't consistent. And now they don't even know if they want him to play center or left guard. He's not the answer at center because he would have just played center last year. We needed somebody to step up the center. He would have just played it. So he's not the answer. Right tackle. Are we going to draft somebody? Villanueva. We're talking about somebody who played left tackle, wasn't that great at left tackle, and they say he's more of a pass blocker than a run blocker. And what do we do here? We run. So what's he going to be on our right side? Who knows? It's not an answer to any of the holes that we have.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Trip One, he said he likes the vid. What's up, Donovan and Jimmy? Andrew says Villanueva is going to be the swing tackle, and a draftee like Jenkins, etc., is going to be the starter. That would be ideal, but picking at 27th, you're far from guaranteed to get a starting tackle there. And even if you get somebody who can beat out Villanueva, the point, or our point, was that you're getting somebody who's worse than Orlando Brown. You downgraded the team.
Yeah. Real quick, man. Oh, Andrew Secure, man. Thank you for joining the live stream. A lot of people in here, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're new here. Make sure you hit the subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the month. So we got about a week left. So make sure you're subscribed, share this with your friends. All right. And, if you're a regular and you love what we do here, you want support, right above me is patreon.com/LBHT show. We got 2 tiers right now, a $3 and $10 tier. Got all kinds of perks there. One of them being at the $10 tier, this nice shiny coin. It comes in a box just like this. All right. Yeah. B's got his right there. All right. Those are limited edition. And, we got a bunch of other stuff. We got extra content. We do an overtime show on Wednesdays. So make sure you sign up. And also, if you're looking for the super chat, I know some of you are probably looking for a super chat. We don't have that enabled yet. But right above B there is our Cash App, $LBHT show. All right. Leave a donation on there and leave your comment and we'll read it on air. All right. Now, what you looking at?
Troy wants to know why the Chiefs, of all the teams that are to trade him to, are chasing the Chiefs to try and get a Super Bowl. We made them better. I don't love the trade because who we traded him to. That's going to be an initial reaction, right? Like, yeah, the Chiefs are the top team in the AFC. They're the top dogs right now. Why make them better? As you said, you filled a big need for them. But the reality is, they just got to worry about themselves. They haven't even made it to the Chiefs in the playoffs yet. They had to take the best deal for Baltimore. And if that's the best offer they got, it doesn't matter that it's to Kansas City.
Yeah. And G-Star 007 made a point about the Chiefs, how they're going to pay for all these players. And this is exactly what me and B have been saying the whole time when people talk about not being able to afford players. That's all a sham, man. Like, the Chiefs had $170 last year in cap space. They didn't have a whole lot of cap room this year. And what do? They rehauled their whole offensive line. Whatever holes or gaps that they appeared to have, they went out there and shored it up. And it doesn't matter what it says on paper the cap number is. They're gonna go out there and make moves. So whenever I hear we can't do this, we don't have the money for that, that's just an excuse, man. Like, go out there and get it done. Be aggressive.
It's funny because the Chiefs and the Ravens both had pretty big O-line issues after this season. And the Ravens went out and they signed Kevin Zeitler, and then they traded Orlando Brown. The Chiefs went and got Joe Thuney, Kyle Long, and Orlando Brown to overhaul their line.
Yep. And they're going to use our second-round pick to get somebody else to the offense.
And since we're talking about the draft, I'm sorry. I just want to point out again, we are doing a draft challenge on ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to our Twitter, the LBHT show on Twitter, our pinned tweet has the link. We're going to be giving away a copy of Madden 22 to whoever finishes in first in the draft challenge. And if you're not into Madden, we'll give you a gift card or whatever. But yeah, just sign up. We're just holding a little contest for fun for next week.
Let me see if I can find a link here. And if I can find it, I will drop it in the chat. I tried to pin it last time, but I can't pin it from here. Okay.
We'll see, Davon. We'll see.
Oh, Davon said he's going to win. Oh, yeah, he said he's winning it. Okay. All right. That is the link. All right. So make sure you guys click on that and join, man. It's, wait, Periscope. Oh, Periscope won't let me drop it.
Andrew says this is why he wants a tackle and center both in the draft earlier than later. I can't disagree with that. I think Baltimore kind of wasted free agency. I don't think they should have signed. I shouldn't say they shouldn't have signed Kevin Zeitler, but I think their first target should have been Corey Linsley. And they needed to go harder at wide receiver so that they didn't have multiple needs to try and fill right at the top of the draft.
Yeah. So, all right. The value.
Dream bigger, live in legend.
Davon already claimed it. It's his, the value we got for man is pretty much what me and B have been saying, right? 2 Pro Bowls. Yeah, that's great. He has a good resume. We think he's a really good tackle, but Pro Bowls don't carry the same weight like they used to. They just don't. He's not an all pro. He's not a top 5 tackle, definitely not a top 5 left tackle, right? But really good. And you can make the argument that he could catapult to that even this year. But the fact is, he hasn't done it. There are some prospects in this draft that are projected to be better than him. So that made his draft value go down. And also the other thing is too, and this points to the lack of production that from this offense is Orlando Brown could be that good right now, right? Like it's possible that he is just one of those top left tackles in the league, but since we don't pass the ball that much, he didn't have a chance to showcase it. Like he took over at left tackle halfway through the season, but we didn't pass the ball that much. We don't pass the ball, so you don't get a good look at him, right? And we couldn't just hold on to him for another year. I heard Sonny, shout out to Sonny, SCG Sports. I heard him talk about it on his live stream, saying, hey, we had leverage because we didn't have to trade him this year. We could have held him. Okay, we hold him, and he's playing back. He's back at right tackle this year, run blocking, right? Like that doesn't increase his value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you had to take what you can get.
What's up, Courtney? I see AB settled his case. Maybe he'll become a Raven now. Well, the story is that he's signing back with Tampa Bay very soon. So I don't think it's going to happen. I don't really think the Ravens were actually interested anyway.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, man. Like that's why I'm not excited about any of these moves that we're making. Like we're not aggressive enough, man. We're not aggressive enough. Like the main thing I don't like about this trade, even though I think it's a fair trade, is that, man, like if other teams were offering a higher pick, but they wanted a little bit more, then give it to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were talking about getting into the top 10, you had to trade Orlando plus your first to get into the top 10. That's what it takes. Do it. Yeah. Right. If that's what it takes to get Jamar Chase, do it. We get too caught up on the number of draft picks because draft picks represent potential. Oh, we could get a good person there. We could get somebody that could potentially be somebody. Get somebody that can ball. Right? That's what we need right now. We're past that. This team is at a point where we need to get guys that we know can provide a certain level of production so we can get to the Super Bowl. That's what we're playing for right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at Baltimore right now. The last 3 years, they've had 11, 8, and 12 draft picks. And we're sitting here talking about all these holes on the roster. So what do you care if they keep these picks? Yeah. Go up and get somebody who's a difference maker.
Yep. Add to Pop says if the Ravens don't go all in the draft, Lamar will ask for a trade. He ain't gonna ask for a trade. He's going to sign an extension. I would love to see him hold the team hostage. I would love that. I would love to see him just be like, hey, you guys ain't doing enough. I'm not signing anything until you protect me and you give me some weapons.
Yeah.
Right.
And look, I know that EDC came out and said he was very insulted with the way people talk about wide receiver. Well, guess what, man? It's not just wide receiver. You ain't got no edge rushers, and you ain't done nothing on the offensive line either. And now the co-host is gone. Awesome. But if you look at it, he inherited a good offensive line, and what's it been since then, right? They've spent some high picks on edge rushers recently. They traded a high pick for Yannick Ngakoue. No edge rushers, and he's drafted 4 wide receivers. They've signed a couple wide receivers in free agency. No wide receivers. So, I don't know. He's out there saying it's a luck-driven process and everything. At some point, we're going to have to take him at his word that he's hoping to just get lucky.
Yeah. PayPal. Thank you for joining the live stream. Chiefs really sitting back laughing at the Ravens. I bet that. Look, they have a vision of what they want. They're going out there and getting what they want. If they didn't get this trade done, they'll have made some other move, man. That's what they do, and we're not doing that. Like, I have no problem with trading with the Chiefs. I don't care who we trade with. Like, we just need to make sure that we're getting better, right? Don't worry about what another team's doing. Worry about what we're doing. And we're not doing anything that we need to do to win right now.
Yeah.
Davon says Ravens out here running A+ development organization. Yeah. Live Legend says let Ozzy take over the GM controller with those picks. Look, Ozzy is still involved with the organization, but I mean, he took a seat back, and this is Eric DeCosta's time to shine. And so far, he hasn't done a great job.
Attitude, why are you hating on Baker? They
Baker,
just went to the playoffs and won a playoff game. He's asking how Baker got his 5th-year option picked up.
he had a bounce back year.
Listen, as much as we make fun of Baker, he's had 2 good years out of the 3 years he's been in the league.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing though. Eric DeCosta isn't proving anything. That's why we've been saying, stop saying in EDC we trust. Stop saying that. Right. I don't personally think he's going to be a bad GM, but he hasn't proven anything yet. He hasn't proven anything. None of his picks have really blown up. I mean, I still think Hollywood Brown's going to be good, but other than that, nobody's really taken off. Queen looks like he's going to be good. Dobbs looks like he's going to be good, but he has a lot more work to do. And yeah, King of Pugo said it. This year is a big year. It's a big year for everybody. I think the pressure's going to be on him. This is going to be his 3rd draft class. And if the team doesn't look like they're getting better, right, there are going to be questions like, is DeCosta the right man for the job? And once those whispers are out there, then DeCosta's going to be pointing that direction, pointing everybody to the coach. He's going to be pointing to John Harbaugh and say, hey, man, I've drafted like 30 players for you, because they love amassing picks. Every year they like to get, 10 plus picks. So I'm getting you 30 plus players the last 3 years. I know it's not me. I know it's not my scouting department. I know we're not the ones getting it wrong here. It must be you, right? And Harbaugh's going to say, well, it ain't me running the offense. It must be my pal Greg Roman.
Like I said, Greg Roman is going to say, you already fired my scapegoats, so I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah. Eric, you're a lie. You don't love Brown. You don't love Brown. Lies. But anyway, that's why I feel like Greg Roman, and unfortunately, like, it's as much as I don't like Greg Roman, he wasn't given a fair chance, because you're not giving him any of the weapons or anything that he needs to run his offense, and he is going to get the blame. And I don't think he's going to make it through the season. And ultimately, I don't think Harbaugh's going to is going to be here at the end of the year. Well, I mean, he'll finish out the year. Afterwards, he'll be fired, I think.
What's up, Spirit of Ogun? The trade's fine. I mean, I don't have any problem with the trade. It's EDC who's not real high on my list at this point.
Yeah, Z the Beast, what's going on? He says no less than an AFC Championship game, or Harb's got to go. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we can't keep giving this organization high praise and we're not getting to where we need to go. That's just what it is. All right. Click One says, I've trusted EDC for 2 years straight, and he, in my opinion, has been a bit disappointing compared to his old boss. Now, let's not get it wrong, man. Ozzy's had some stinkers too.
Listen, but Ozzy got out though. Ozzy saw the quality of his draft class is declining, and he said, "I got to go."
The last class though with Lamar, that was the one.
You know, legends can always dig down deep one more time, before they get out.
Yeah. Garnett says, your package deals are coming, in my opinion. They put themselves in the best position if they want to capitalize on moving up. For a premium player, our roster is already full. Our roster is not full. Our roster is not full at all.
I'm not sure that they put. I mean, I don't know that they have the firepower to move up and get premium. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're calling a premium player. But yeah, they do have a good number of picks. I'm not at all convinced that they're actually going to try and do that.
Yeah, I mean, look. So he says our roster's full. Like, I hear where you're coming from, Garnett. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's full. I think we still have holes at interior O-line and right tackle and wide receiver
and edge.
Yeah, and edge. So we have some holes to fill. If you want to say, hey, we can make do on the edge, because there's still guys out there we can go and sign, and we'll work with the guys that we have on the team. Yeah, that's cool. But that O-line, there's questions. I know we drafted a lot of players, but none of them have shown that they can be good starters yet. All right. Bradley Bozeman hasn't shown that he can be a consistent starter. Ben Bredesen hasn't shown anything. Tyree Phillips hasn't shown anything good. You
Yeah.
know, Ben Powers hasn't shown, he hasn't shown that he can consistently be good either. I mean, he was almost cut last year. So I don't feel comfortable with any of those guys. Kevin Zeitler is a good pickup. Yeah, sure. We needed to do more though. So, yeah, man, use those 2 picks and try to fill some of those holes, or, package those picks, move up, get a premium player that makes a difference to help cover up some of those holes. All right. Click One says Ozzy. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Click One. Ozzy had one bad draft, and that was 2015. He's had more than that, my man.
Yeah, I'm not going to
he's
say
drafted at least one great player.
just hitting on the first round pick doesn't make it a good draft.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, in 2011, Carolina drafted Cam Newton #1 overall. Amazing pick, right? He won MVP, took him to a Super Bowl. Every other player in that draft was terrible, except Captain Munderland. Captain was good.
In that CJ Mosley class, who else was in that class?
That was a bad class. CJ Mosley, Timmy Jernigan, Terrence Brooks, Crockett Gilmore, Brent Urban, Lorenzo Talaferro, John Urschel, Keith Wenning, and Mike Campanero.
And CJ Mosley wasn't a great player. That's why we didn't keep him. Right? I mean, I think he was very good. I liked him, but they showed you where their value is. Like they don't value middle linebackers. So why'd you waste a first round pick on one when that was one of the historic classes for wide receivers?
Absolutely. I mean, I think they will. It depends on who they like, obviously, but they'll be able to get a tackle at 27. It's just they're in that position now where, okay, we got an extra first round pick, right? But you have to use it to tackle.
Also, let's talk about like deep, right? Like when people say a class is deep, what happens when deep classes? Teams go on a run at that position.
Yeah.
Right. It was a deep class for wide receivers last year. Right. How many wide receivers went in the first round? You know what I mean? Like,
and then in the second round,
you can't just sit there and say it's a deep class, we can wait. No, man. Like when there is a plethora of talent there, especially when other positions like edge rusher aren't that great.
Yeah,
those tackles will go. Yeah, and D tackle, like those positions will go off the board real quick. So not saying that there's not going to be one on the board, but I mean,
and that's the other point about deep classes. You're not drafting the class; you're drafting a player.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I know I always use Carolina as examples, but I mean they mess up a lot. So in that great wide receiver class with Watkins and Odell and Mike Evans and Brandon Cook and all those guys, Allen Robinson and everything. Carolina got Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
That didn't work out for them.
That's right. King of Pugo says, nah, CJ wanted a lot of money. He was good for us. He was good for us. He was. But was he great? There's a reason why we didn't pay him, right? Because he wasn't a great player. So, I mean, no, I love CJ Mosley. I wanted to look. I'm one of those people that always says pay your players. I'm one of those people who always says pay your players because I don't believe in this cap BS, man. Like other teams keep their players, but they said nah. We'll let him go because we don't value middle linebackers. And then they went and spent a first round pick a year later on a middle linebacker, which is another reason why I didn't like that pick for Patrick Queen, because Patrick Queen I think is going to be a good player. You think we're going to pay him $20+ million when his contract comes up? No. So why waste a pick on him? Yeah. We have LJ Ford. You could have drafted Malik Harrison. I mean, I said it before the draft. Draft Malik Harrison in the second or third round. And we drafted him as well, right? We should have just drafted Malik Harrison, let him play alongside LJ Ford, and draft T. Higgins in the first. That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
Triple One, he's talking to King of Pugo. He wants a better head coach, but John's stability and leadership is good. What I'm saying is I don't want to get a Freddie Kitchens in hopes of landing Kyle Shanahan. Well, this is where, again, do you think EDC is a good GM? Right? Like that's their job. Their job is to bring in a suitable replacement. Right? The same thing could be said when we had to get rid of Brian Billick. Right? Well, who are we going to replace him with? A special teams coach? Come on. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. Like, do your due diligence, get the right coach in here. If it's not the right coach, get rid of him and bring in somebody else. But Harbaugh, in terms of his leadership, look, Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
It's always an unknown anytime you're bringing anyone in. Like, I mean, if you want to say, hey, let's draft an edge rusher, that's an unknown. You don't know if they're going to be any good. Let's draft a wide receiver. It's an unknown, right? It's let's pass off the GM spot to EDC. He's an unknown. You don't know if he's going to be any good. But you have to ask yourself, do you want to stick with, or do you think that John Harbaugh can get them over the hump from where they are right now? You know, they've been in the playoff 3 years in a row. They have not looked good 3 years in a row. And so you have to ask yourself, is John the guy to get you from where you are right now back to a Super Bowl? And if the answer is no, you don't think he can do that, he has to go. I mean, and you take your chances with who you hire. You might get somebody worse. You might get somebody better. You might get the same thing, but he has to go if he's not the guy.
Yeah. All right. Let me go back and read some of these comments that are coming in fast. And guys, also, like I said, right above B, that Cash App, if you want a highlighted comment, just go ahead and hit that up, leave a comment, and we'll read it on air because we're not going to hit all of these comments. But Nick the King says, what are you talking about? Bradley Bozeman is good and being consistent. He's not consistent. Consistent at what? What's he consistent at? Because they don't even know where they want to play him. He wasn't the starting center last year. He was starting left guard at times. I don't think he was there the whole year. So what is he consistent at? Nothing. Right. He's a good filler, but no, like he's not consistent. I wouldn't even call him good at this point.
They like him and they're going to give him a chance to fill one of those spots, but it's not like, you know what you have in Ronnie Stanley. You know what you're getting in Kevin Zeitler. It's not that with Bradley Bozeman.
Right.
You're
Kevin Zeitler isn't trying out for position. He's playing right guard. Right. So, Ryan Stanley's playing left tackle. You know what he's playing there. When we had Marshall Yonda, like he wasn't trying out for a position. You know what he's playing. That's consistent, right? That's consistently good. And that's not Bradley Bozeman.
Yeah. Right. And we're not even really down on the linemen that they have. They got Ben Powers, Bozeman, Phillips, Bredesen. We had been talking about even before the season ended, we thought that, they would be able to get their guards out of that group. It's just a matter of who steps up, who really goes to work over the offseason and kind of lays claim to those spots.
Yeah.
But no, it's far from it's far from proven.
Yeah. Koyette Carter says, not the podcast I wanted, it's the podcast I needed. Keep doing great things, guys. Appreciate
that, man. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Click One says the past 2020 draft class was a good receiver class. It was. We didn't get any of them.
They got Devin Duvernay.
We got Devin Duvernay. All right. And that's not a diss to Devin Duvernay, but when you're picking the 16th remaining wide receiver, I don't feel good about that. Just a low says the Ravens are kind of underground cheap. Well, no, they're cheap. I don't think it's underground. I think it's pretty well documented. They haven't spent cash over cap in 6 years. Yep.
Yeah, no, that secret is out, man. They do not want to pay anybody.
No. Living Legend says he's insulted by that trade by EDC. I should do a press conference and let him know. You let him know, right. Living Legend. You let him know, man. He's okay. Cornell Russ says Villa fills a guard position for the price.
Well, I mean, he's going to be, I think, end up the starting right tackle. Hopefully they can get a good right tackle in the draft, and they'll start and Villanueva will be able to, fill in as needed. But I think it's going to end up that he's the starting right tackle because you have coaches who don't like or trust young players.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the other thing, and that's another reason why Harbaugh is going to have to end up leaving if things don't go well this year. Again, this is Eric DeCosta's third draft class, and he's drafted a lot of players. And if these guys aren't showing progress, right, that's too many draft picks. I mean, he just said it in the press conference. Like, after they pay Lamar, they're going to have to really hit on these draft picks, which is why they want to get so many draft picks so they have a better chance of hitting on these guys. And if none of these guys are hitting, right, that tells you that there's an issue with coaching. And it's always been an issue, even when Ozzie was here, because Harbaugh brings in coaches that don't know how to develop players. Mm-hmm. He brings in these old relics that that want to coach a different style of football from a times past, and they're not interested in developing young players. They want guys that already know what they're doing. It was the same thing when Dean Peeves was here. Dean Peeves was always talking about he needs players. He needs players. It's like, well, damn, man, like, how many players do you need?
Yeah.
Right? Like, we spent draft picks. We spent one draft class. I think it was Marlon Humphrey's draft class. I think it was all defense. Right? And he's just like, more. We need more. Like coach these guys up. And nothing has really changed on that end. So that tells you that Harbaugh can't identify the right people to come in here and develop these guys. Now, hopefully with T. Martin and Keith Williams, some things change, hopefully. And also Rob Ryan. And I like Rob Ryan in that position, linebacker coach. So hopefully that helps. But this year, that progress has to show. Otherwise, Harbaugh is definitely in trouble. All right. What we got here?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. The Marlon Humphrey draft wasn't all defense, just the first 3 rounds were defense. They drafted a couple of bad offensive linemen after that and then went back to defense.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. The best player, Clear One says the best player EDC has drafted was J.K. Dobbins, which didn't really take much effort because it was a best player available pick.
Yeah, and also because he's a running back and you can just kind of plug those guys in for the most part. I mean, he wasn't a mystery, put it that way.
Yeah. PayPal. I love how you guys are diehard Ravens fans, but speaking
nothing but truth.
Well,
yeah.
But here's the thing, PayPal. B is not a Ravens fan. He is a Panthers fan.
Yes.
I'm the Ravens fan. But most of our audience is Ravens fans, so we cover a lot of Ravens on here. You'll see us talk some Panthers.
Yeah, we'll talk some Panthers right now because, I mean, I don't know how many of you were here a few weeks ago in our live stream on Wednesday night, but all y'all owe me apologies for talking about trade Orlando Brown for the 8th pick. Every single one of you, and I'll take them in writing. Okay, you can hit up questions at lbhtshow.com with your apology. You know who you are.
Listen, sometimes apologies come in the form of money, and our website lbhtshow.com/shop accepts credit cards. Okay, let me bring it up just in case you were wondering. I know you guys are checking out the merch there, right? I know you're liking the hoodie, you're liking the beanie there. Yeah, you like the mug. Okay, right, right below, right there. lbhtshow.com/shop. Okay, we got all kinds of stuff on there. I'm actually about to order some more samples to show you guys, man. We got some t-shirts, we got some tank tops. It's getting warm out there. You guys want to show the guns? Okay, you got some shorts. All right, go on there and check out. Well, check it out. See if you like something. If you like it, buy something.
Listen, Dave, I was about to answer your question, and then you left the second comment.
Living Legend says
we're moving right along.
Living Legend says his uncle was a Panther. Who was your uncle?
A Carolina or a black?
Yeah. Who is he? PayPal says, let's talk about how Clowney keeps robbing these NFL teams.
It's, man.
Ravens fan.
Look, I where I live, I have to watch the Ravens like every week. They don't even put the Panthers on here.
Oh, Little Legend say, yeah, he's a Black Panther. Okay, that's what's up.
Nice.
That's what's up. Yeah.
See, you should have been hitting up our email and submitting your uncle as a Black History fact.
Yes, yeah, we do have. Yeah, if you don't know, we do Black History facts. Well, Living Legend, you see the show. Unless you come in late, maybe you miss it. Beginning of every show, we do a Black History fact. So, yeah man.
But yeah, Dave, there's a huge UFC card tomorrow night. That's Usman and Masvidal, Whaley and Namajunas, and Andrade and Shevchenko. It's going to be a great card.
Yeah, we might even we'll do a live stream. Now, don't quote me on that. We might do a live stream tomorrow after the fight.
That is well past Jose's bedtime.
It is, yeah.
Chad Johnson was out there putting money on Masvidal, though. Did you see that? He showed up to the press conference. He wanted Masvidal's word that it was a lock that he was going to win. So he was putting the bet on him.
He likes losing money then. Davon says, "What's the alternative? Steals are out there." No, he's a Panthers fan, man.
No alternative.
Yeah. So okay. So our audience doesn't really seem to hate the trade. Am I right? Like, is that the consensus? You guys are okay with the trade?
A few of them not real happy, but I think for the most part, people are cool with it.
All right. So just to recap, and I see about 48 people in here.
Opposite of low. He probably didn't know.
Wait, what? What I miss?
Living legend. He said, "I'd be the opposite of low. I probably didn't know."
Yeah. They all said live stream. Listen. Okay, listen. If I take my nap ahead of time, I'll be good for a live stream after the fight. Okay, it all depends. Tanja Bowman is in the house. What's going on,
What's up, Tanja?
She is not happy at all. Just dumb. We got fleeced. How we get fleeced, Tanja? How do we?
There's the answer to your question from a minute ago, though.
Fleeced. Tanja does not think we got fleeced. Tanja just hates that we traded him to the Chiefs. Those were her. That was her only request. If we would have traded him for a third round pick to anybody else, she'd have been like, "All right, cool." But when she saw the Chiefs, the Chiefs could have gave us our next 3 years of first round picks. She would have said we got fleeced because it was the Chiefs. Okay, I know you, Tanja. I know you. All right,
Troy. I think that it's gonna go much like the McGregor fight. He's gonna carry him for a while and then knock him out.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll last as long as the McGregor fight because I don't think Logan will be able to stay up that long.
Yeah. He'll get worn out. Yeah, King of Pugo, I agree. It's make or break for Eric DaCosta.
Yeah.
Okay. Spirit of Ogun says, "I wanted the Ravens to keep the 58th pick. Then this trade would have been perfect." It is what it is. I agree. I'd have loved it too. But yeah. 2 first round picks, especially close together. I like those kind of picks where we can pick close, almost back to back, right?
Yeah.
Because you see what's on the board, you can just, it's easier to plan that way. Yeah. And also at the 31st pick, there is a chance we could trade back into the second, not too far into the second, and the guy that you're looking for is still there, and we picked up an extra pick. So there's options there, man.
Brian Farr, bank it. Trading pick 31, move back and get a second and third.
A second and third?
Yeah, I mean that's what we talked about earlier. I think they are gonna use that 27th pick on the best tackle or wide receiver there, and then they'll trade that 31st pick to recoup some of that. They traded away.
If we don't trade too far back, I won't be mad at it. I won't. Tanja says we gave them our second round to make them stronger. We haven't even got past them yet, and we helped them get stronger. Makes no sense. Us not getting past them is on us, right? Did we make them stronger? I mean, look, they were going to shore up that position no matter what, whether they got Orlando Brown or somebody else. They were going to make it happen because that's what kind of team they are. They are an aggressive team. We need to worry about ourselves. We need to worry about how we're going to get better. And you missed it, but I'll say it before, like we didn't do anything to really strengthen this O-line. There's still questions at left guard, center, and now right tackle, right? And these are things that they knew going into the offseason they're going to have to address. So what are we doing about it? We saw the Chiefs. The Chiefs went out there and got 3 O-linemen out the gate, right? We brought in Kevin Zeitler. Okay, that's fine, but we we still have holes, So it's on us. It's on us. I don't think we got fleeced. I just think we need to start making some better choices. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a solid trade that looks worse because it's to the Chiefs. And people just don't like the idea of doing trades with teams that you are in theory competing with. Mm-hmm. And I say in theory because, like I said, they have not actually gotten to the Chiefs yet.
Yeah. Eric says Jorge about to get them feet worked too, along with a knockout salad from Usman. Yeah. He might stomp on his feet just for good measure. Big Zach likes to trade. Just a little wants to know why would we trade back? Doesn't make sense at all because they like picks. They like having picks, and they've been stressing that the whole time, that they want more picks in. And I've said it, they like to have double-digit picks. So it would make sense. Right now we have 9 picks. If they could trade back, pick up an extra pick, I'd give them 10.
Yeah, you ask why. And if you've been following us last year when we first started doing the podcast, I don't even think we were on YouTube yet at that point. We talked about, Jose specifically was mentioning how they had a first, 2 seconds, and 2/3. So they should take their first round pick, one of their seconds, and one of their thirds, and move up and get Jerry Jeudy or CD Lamb or somebody like that.
Yes.
What did they do? They ended up with 4 third-round picks.
Oh, my God. Oh, I was so certain. In fact, I think if you go on our website, lbhtshow.com, I wrote an article about that. We did our mock drafts last year, and I had us picking Jerry Jeudy because I had us trading
up to 20, I believe.
Yes,
with I want to say Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We moved our first, our extra second, and extra third because of course, it makes sense, right? A team will take your first, second, and third, swap with you, and we still have a second and third round pick. I was like, yeah, it makes sense, and we get a difference maker. No, let's trade back and get more picks, right? And where are we now? We're saying we still need help.
What's up, Chris? Chris Hallback. The trade was terrible. Really traded OBJ for, in reality, an early second round pick and gave up our second. So really, the first we got was useless. I don't know about useless, but I can feel some anger coming through now. Like the angry ones are coming in late.
So let me ask you guys that don't like this trade. Let's say we were going to keep Orlando Brown. Would you be willing to pay him $22-23 million? You good with that? You know what I'm saying? Like because we overvalue. I ask this because we always overvalue our players. Every fan base does this. We overvalue our players. All right. And for a team that doesn't put a lot of value in offense, what are you expecting everybody else to offer you? So if you're not willing to pay him elite money, you shouldn't expect elite return for him. So which one are you looking at?
I'm laughing at Tanja. That's what I said, all caps.
That's what she said. I
all
hear you,
exclamation points.
I hear you. So, I mean, but yeah, I thought I'd question you as well, Tanja. You good with $22-23 million a year? And now I'm willing to bet if they announced they had extended Orlando Brown and they're paying them that much, we'd be saying too much money, right? And if that's the way you feel about it, you can't expect other teams to say, yeah, we got to pay him this much money and we want to give you a boatload of picks on top of that. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs haven't announced any extension for this man. Yeah. So they're still working on that. So there's risk on their end too that they may only get this man for a year. So no, I'm not giving you. I mean, they're lucky to get it first, in my opinion. I would ask for the same thing. If I'm giving you a first, you gotta give me a second because I'm not giving you everything.
I will say, I believe it was Troy asking about why they traded him to the Chiefs. Calais Campbell agrees with him. He said, like Pat Mahomes, needed more help.
Yeah. Chris Hall. Now, see, look, Chris Hall says they could have kept him this season if he played bad. That would hurt him. That would hurt us too. Because if he plays bad this year, what are we getting for him? We're not getting a first, second, or third. Right? Because he's going to be a free agent. Everybody knows we're not going to tag him. So nobody's going to trade for him. Right? And then he walks and we get a comp third, which is essentially a 4th round pick. So holding him doesn't do anything. Even if he kept him and he played well, he's playing well at right tackle because Ronnie Stanley will be back playing left tackle. So Orlando Brown will be playing well at right tackle. That doesn't do anything for us.
Tanja speaking the truth over here. Other teams keep their players. The cap is what your franchise wants it to be.
Yep.
Correct.
Bingo. Absolutely, Tanja. Absolutely. You got it. All right, man. Look, 45 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the month. We're going to get a little aggressive as we get closer to the start of the season and also the NBA playoffs. If any of you are into NBA, we're going to start doing some live streams for some of these playoff games.
Oh, we got a few subscribers. I see Brian Farrar just subscribed. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
I want to mention again, we mentioned it earlier as they put the link in the chat. We are doing the ESPN Draft Challenge. We have a group set up. You can sign up. We're going to give away a free copy of Madden 22. And if you're not into Madden, we'll just give you an Amazon gift card or a gift card to wherever you would like. But yeah, go ahead and just click that link, get in there, fill out your questions. We'll have some fun.
This is so true, just a low. This is so true. The Ravens would rather have 5 hoopties than 1 Mercedes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because what happens if that Mercedes breaks down?
Right. And it's fine if you have your star players where you need them to be, right? If we had Jerry Jeudy right now, we're good, right? We're good. And well, Jerry Jeudy and our O-line was taken care of. Our O-line was set. Just get whatever, right? Fill out the rest of these spots, and try to get some guys that you can develop and be rotational players or guys that you can stash away for later. That's fine. But we're trying to win now, and you got to have guys that can play. We can say Devin Duvernay just needs more opportunities. Miles Boykin needs more targets. You can say all this stuff. Hey, these guys will be good. They're still developing. That's great. But you can't say for sure that they're going to be those guys. You can't say for certain because they haven't proved it, and they've shown you very little. So we need guys that we know have done it recently, and can still do it, like AB. All right. So that's why we're a big proponent for AB.
Just you don't know they're going to break down. Okay, all 5 of them aren't going to break down at the same time that you need a ride. Okay? King, yes, Mitchell Schwartz is still a free agent along with Eric Fisher. They're both injured, which is why they're both still out there. Mitchell Schwartz was also contemplating retirement, so I don't know if he's made his decision yet.
Yeah. Chris Hall wants to know, Jose and B, do you think the Ravens should stay put or trade back and get even more picks? I think they should stay put or trade up.
Yeah, I think they should trade up. I think they're going to trade back from 31. I think they'll pick at 27 and trade back from 31.
Yeah.
Brian Farr, if Tevin Jenkins is available at 27, do you take him? I say yes. Honestly, I would say no. I think that, obviously it depends on who all is there.
He's a tackle?
Yeah, Tevin Jenkins is a tackle from OK State. And he looks pretty good, right? But I'm taking the wide receiver because, again, Baltimore has gone to the playoffs with the best tackle duo in the NFL a few times, and it hasn't mattered. Their problem is they don't have any talent on the outside, and they have to address it. They've got to address it. They can find a right tackle somewhere. It's easier to fill than left tackle. So I'm going to say go ahead and get that wide receiver that Baltimore can't find elsewhere because they failed multiple times. Go ahead and draft that guy in round 1 and then worry about the right tackle at 31. I was going to say later, but they do have 2 first-round picks.
All right, Click One brings up a point. Orlando Brown Jr. is better than Tunsil, and the Dolphins got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a couple other picks. Obviously, Andy Reid isn't Bill O'Brien, but you said it right there, Click One.
That's the entirety of it.
That was an anomaly. Okay, that's an outlier. If you look at other tackles that have been traded in recent history, they didn't get anywhere near that kind of pull. So yes, what you saw there was just a terrible person in Bill O'Brien. Bad GM, bad coach, bad everything. And he also traded one of the best wide receivers in the league for a 2nd-round pick. So that should tell you something as well. Somebody who has absolutely no idea what
a running back. Why do you keep forgetting David Johnson?
Yes, and a running back. So that is not a good example to use. And if Bill O'Brien were available, if somebody like that out there, we could have made it happen. But he's not there anymore. We traded him too late. What can I say?
Yeah.
And Laremy Tunsil was he a top 10 or just out the top 10? He was a 1st-round draft pick, right? Yeah, so for a coach, that's always going to be a draw, right? A former 1st-round pick, right? Because they see the talent, they see the potential, and Tunsil's still young. Orlando Brown was a 3rd-round pick. Now, he's obviously good enough to be a 1st-round pick, but that 3 in front of his name, coaches, not talking about GMs, coaches look at that and be like, but
GMs too.
GMs do it too. Yes, GMs do it too.
What's
But
up, godson?
Godson in the house. What's going on? Yes, he's gone, man. He's gone. So we got look. King of Pugo said it best, man. Like this is a make or break draft for this organization because if we don't hit, not just this draft, we got to start seeing some return on investment from the last two drafts, right? Yeah. I expect Hollywood to take a bigger step forward. I'm not worried about Hollywood Brown at all. He's putting in that work. He's got talent. I think he's going to be fine. We need to see Miles Boykin step up. Justice Hill, he's still on team. Justice Hill needs, he's got to show something. I can't even remember. I think Bradley Bozeman was in that draft too, right? Bradley Bozeman, he's got to do something. And then last year's draft, Devin Duvernay. I mean, Prochet, I don't think it's gonna make the team, to be honest.
Bozeman was in 2018.
Okay. But no, you don't. You don't agree about Hollywood Brown. Okay, stop trolling me. You don't agree. But yeah, Devin Duvernay. You had Ben Bredesen, Tyree Phillips, right? You got Matabike,
Jalen Hawkins, Ben Bredesen, Roderick Washington, James Prochet, Geno Stone had already been cut, but he's back now.
Yeah.
Iman Marshall, Daylon Mack, and your favorite and mine, Trace McSorley.
Yeah, there's a lot of players. We drafted a lot of players, and it's time for some of these guys to step up, right? Not all of them are going to. Not all of them are going to make the team, but some of these guys need to start showing that they can play. Because if all these guys don't work out, or the majority of them, well, I should say most of them don't work out, yeah, man, heads are going to roll, right? Heads are going to roll because that means next year we have to look at acquiring more picks because we're giving up a 6th-round pick next year too. So we're already in a hole. So who do we have to trade to get an extra pick or two, right? And then are those guys going to work out? So this is a big year.
Yeah.
Add to Pop says, did you see the best players under 25 list? Lamar was number 1. And Colin Cowherd said Josh Allen should be number 1, Justin Herbert 2, Chase Young 3, and Lamar 4. Look, man, Colin Cowherd is just, I mean, he says things for clicks and ratings. It doesn't matter what his opinion is. And I haven't heard from, I haven't listened to any of his stuff in a long time. Quick One says, I really hope Bateman or Aziz pull a Laramie Tunsil and lowers his draft stock a ton by taking a mean ass hit from a bong or something because we aren't picking. Well, the thing is, if they do that, we're not getting them either.
Yeah.
So
that's the problem.
Yeah. Eric says Trace McMittens. Our man Andrew Secura, man, what's going on? He's talking about Clip One. You can't count on the Tunsil trade. It was an outlier. The idiot Bill O'Brien and Tunsil. Yeah. We're saying that too. Yeah, for sure.
Listen, Jazzy, I don't blame him for not liking Miles Boykin. Why would he?
Yeah,
Miles doesn't do his job.
Yeah, Miles Boykin is so bad he doesn't even run the routes right. Hold on a second. It says we lost our Facebook.
That's unfortunate, but nobody likes Facebook anyway.
It says click here to try to reconnect. I'm not sure if anybody was watching it, but all right, if anybody's watching on Facebook, come over to YouTube.
Well, if they were watching on Facebook, they wouldn't have heard you say that just now. So, oh well.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying YouTube the whole time, so they know we're on YouTube. It'll be fine. Yeah. Thank you, StreamYard, by the way. Appreciate that. Tanja wants to know how many players can we use and we drafted more.
Yeah, that's always been one of my things with Baltimore. It's like, okay, if you're rebuilding your team, yeah, trade back, get as many picks as you can. But Baltimore doesn't have that many spots. What do you need 10, 12 picks for?
Right.
Right. You're bringing back all your veterans. I mean, you cut LJ Ford, and LJ Ford's still on the team. Like, what are we doing?
Because the problem I have with it is they love saying we have 10 to 12 draft picks. But most of the time, those draft picks are lower. They're lower picks, right? And they think it's okay because out of the 12 picks we got, 3 of them worked out, right? And we'll hold them up, especially if they're lower picks. See, we got these guys in the 4th round, right? So we don't need those high draft picks. But it took you 12 picks to get 3, and those guys aren't great. And a lot of times they don't make it to the second contract because, we don't use them the first 2 years. The 3rd year, they start to break out and they want their money. And it's just like, well, you haven't shown enough, so we got to let you go, right? So their formula isn't working. You're not developing them fast enough for them to be worth the time, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, this year, Miles Boykin has to show something because next year, I think that'll be his contract year next year.
This is his 3rd year, so yeah, he's got 1 more year after.
So if he doesn't show anything this year, right, going into next year, even if he breaks out next year, doesn't matter. Okay, great 1 year you had with us, and we're not going to pay you. And then maybe he'll perform for somebody else, maybe he doesn't, but we're not going to have him, right? So we have to speed up this process, and this is where coaching comes in. You got to put these guys in position to succeed.
King Bird, did you just come in here and just type, "I don't like this"? Wait, are you okay?
He's sitting there quiet the whole time. It's just building up. He's like, "I don't like any of this. I don't like it."
Jazz, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Duvernay coming in, but I'll give him credit. He was pretty much the only one at times last year who looked like he wanted to make plays.
Yeah.
When he got the ball in his hands.
Yeah. Who's this, Eric? Y'all seen this wide receiver from Clemson?
Amari Rogers.
Oh, okay. Low key might be a steal in round 4, 24 reps, 225. Oh my.
I don't think he'll be there in round 4, man.
Yeah. Exactly. Matt Judon's a perfect example of what I was talking about, right? Above average, not worth a second contract. And you know what? I'm not even going to say not worth it. Some of these guys are worth it. We just have to understand that you have to pay players, right? Mm-hmm. You have to pay for production. 8 sacks. What did he end up getting? What did Judon get?
This past year?
Yeah.
6 sacks.
No. I mean, for money. I mean, 17. I think it was like 17 mil, something like that.
I honestly can't remember.
That's fair. That's fair for the production that he gave us, right? What we want here is to pay mid-tier money for all-pro production. That's not how
he got 14 a year.
14 years. That's nothing, man. Yeah. That's less than what Zadarius Smith got.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's more than fair. You got to pay that, right? You got to find a way to pay that money. So if we go and get Justin Houston, what are you expecting from Justin Houston? You expecting 6, 8, 10 sacks? Come on, man. What are we paying? What are you going to pay for that? You have to pay for production. So if you want a guy that can ball out, it's going to cost more money. If you want a guy that's just good enough, I mean, you still got to pay it, but he'll cost a little less.
Andrew said Boykin has 2 problems. He does not work on his craft and try to get better in the offseason, and he seems to play afraid or not to his 6'4" frame.
I don't know what he does
not attack the ball and act like he is 6'4". Yeah, listen, I think he's just not very skilled. He's a freak athlete, and he's got size, and that's what Baltimore drafted. They drafted an athlete with size, not a wide receiver.
Yeah. Amari Rogers is T. Martin's son. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I doubt we get him. Tandra Pullman says, yes, 4th and 5th year players sit on the bench all season. Makes no sense. Miles can sit on the bench if he's still confused in the middle of the season. They sat Mark Ingram. Yeah.
Tandra want to sit everybody. Tandra just angry.
Sit them all. Bench everybody. You're all benched. Click One says he's a pretty tall guy. He's about 6'2", so a little shorter than Boykin. If he had a little athleticism of him, he's sure using that gift and height, athleticism to his advantage and not playing scared. Everybody says that until they put on a helmet.
I don't know, man. Yeah, do you play scared now? Because if you play scared now, you'll play scared at 6'4".
Listen, and this is not taking a shot at you, Click One. Everybody says, man, if I had this guy's size and athleticism, I can go out there and do this and that. No, you wouldn't. No, you would. The first time you get hit, you go like, "Oh my god, oh my god, what was that?"
Like, I'm bigger. Why does it hurt more?
It takes a certain type of mentality to play contact sports, man. Football and boxing and MMA, right? You got to have a certain type of mentality for that, man. This is not for everybody.
It's not at all. Like, you watch all these videos online, like people fighting, and they get hit one time and they are unconscious in the middle of a street. And then you watch a boxing match where a dude gets punched in the face 200 times over the course of a half an hour and he's fine.
That's true.
It's crazy.
Speaking of, did you guys see? This is off topic. Did you guys see that the boxing match? I don't know if it happened yesterday or what, but the guy got knocked out on his feet.
Yeah.
His legs were stiff, like the ropes literally held him up. Like his legs got stiff. Like he brought his legs in together and he went back like this.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness that dude just backed off on him, because
it was scary.
He could have done some damage, because that ref was real slow getting in there.
Listen. And this is what I respect about boxing, where MMA hasn't gotten there yet. The boxer understood what was going on, so he didn't go in for a killing blow. He stood there. The ref understood what was going on and got in between, right? So nobody got hurt, well, anymore. And that guy did. If this is UFC, the ref standing there looking at the fighter saying, "Finish him," right? And that fight's gonna go and finish him and hit him with a shot that he shouldn't receive, man. So that's something that MMA needs to clean up.
They literally did that with the Sugar Show. He tried to walk away twice when the fight was over, and the ref was like, "Get back in there."
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, I can still see his eyes blinking. What are you doing?"
Yeah. Click One says, you played football freshman and sophomore year of high school. I was a free safety. I had to quit because I tore my ACL. I was on varsity sophomore. That's great, man.
Listen, Click. That's not what I asked you. I didn't ask for your whole bio. Look, Earl Thomas plays safety too. You saw him run away. I asked if you played scared.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's good. That's good. Yeah. No, just a little. MMA doesn't suck, man. MMA does not suck. We love MMA. We love boxing too. We love
watch UFC's pay-per-view tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic card. You're going to enjoy it.
You know what? All of you watch it. Tell you what. I'm not committing to anything. But if you guys are watching the fight, tweet at us at LBHT Show. Tweet at us, and if we get enough interaction on Twitter, if I know you guys are out there watching it, I'll take a power nap I'll do the live stream. Okay?
It's funny you said that, Click, because when you said you tore your ACL, all I could think was that thing that goes around on Twitter, RIP to your ACL, but I'm built different.
Yeah. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, honestly, I'm not really upset with what we got. Thought it was solid haul. Besides Orlando playing right tackle for the Ravens offense is different than being left tackle in Kansas City. Yeah. Lamar's ability covers most deficiencies. And I also had to point out, Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Films has been saying this about Orlando Brown since his rookie year, that Orlando Brown isn't a good pass protector.
Yeah.
Right. He's been saying that, like he's average in pass blocking, really good in run blocking. Right. And now, yes, he did well filling in for Ryan Stanley, but to your point, we didn't pass the ball that much. So he wasn't asked to do that much on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
And I think he gave up 3 sacks before he went over to the left tackle. Just saying.
PayPal.
I always was scared when I played football. I faked over 20 injuries in my freshman year. At least you're honest. Davon says he's tweeting. Yeah, tweet. Okay, look, 44 people in here. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. Well, one, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure you're following us right above the Patreon. Right. You have all of our information at LBHT Show for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All right. Tweet at us. message us, whatever you're on, send us a message or, mention us and let us know if you're going to be watching that fight tomorrow. And if we get enough hits, we're going to do it.
And listen, and check out the Patreon too, man. More patrons means more shows.
Absolutely. I'm going to plug it again. Patreon.com/LBHT show. Man, these post-game shows, man, these overtime shows. The last on Wednesday's overtime show, it was something else. I'm gonna give you a little preview of what we were talking about, because we talk everything on overtime, right? So we're talking movies, and I want to know how many of you guys in here are old enough to remember the movie Short Circuit.
Oh my God,
Short Circuit. I'll give you guys a minute to don't say anything, Davon. Don't say anything, Davon.
Quick one. I think what they meant was at left tackle. I think he gave up sacks on the right side, but yeah, he didn't give up any sacks at left tackle.
Yeah. Davon don't say anything. Andrew Secure don't say anything. All right. Yeah, Johnny Five. You remember. Zeke Hokage says
never heard of it. Oh,
okay. He's a youngin. Yeah. All right. It was about this robot who had artificial intelligence, and there was a scientist.
This Indian dude who's like, who had built him.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. And Indian dude built them, and Johnny Five escapes the lab, and he develops feelings, and he befriends this couple, and an adventure starts. Right.
And it's a heartwarming story.
And they made 2 movies. And I love those movies, man. Johnny Five, Johnny Five's alive. Like ask your parents about it. They'll tell you, and they'll tell you, yeah, it was with the Indian dude and a white dude, right?
For the younger folks, it's like Chappie, if you remember that movie from a while back with Dev Patel. Yeah,
Just a Little says he's way older than us. He remembers Cotton Comes to Harlem. Okay, all right, cool. So you remember Johnny Five? Short Circuit. So you guys remember Short Circuit? You remember it was a white guy and an Indian guy, co-starring. Except there was no Indian guy. It was 2 white guys. This man was in blackface. This man right there on the right was playing the man on the left. When B's the one that told me about this, right? And he was telling me, he's just like, yeah, that movie with the 2 white guys. I was like, no, man, it was an Indian guy and a white guy. And he's just like, no, it's 2 white guys. I'm like, no, man, I remember. I remember, and he had the accent and everything.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, look him up. Look him up. Disgusting. Look at this. Look at this. Look. You see that red bandana? Because that's when Johnny Five ran into a Mexican gang, right? And he became a gang member. Yeah. So that's what we were talking about in the overtime show. So that's just a little preview. That's one of the main things we were talking about. That's a little part of it. I can never watch that movie again. That's so racist. Yeah. Just a little nose. Yeah. Yes. Movies were way racist. Yes, they were. True one said Hollywood be tripping. Yes. Yeah. Click one says, bro, I'm Indian. This man's the same skin tone as my family. Yeah, man. So yeah. That's a preview, man. Yeah, cartoons were worse. Yes, cartoons were worse. Okay, all right. I think we got a fix of Orlando Brown. We've been here for over an hour.
I feel like this stopped being about Orlando Brown a long time ago.
It did, but I had to make sure Tanja and everybody's got the chance. Look, Eric L just came in here. What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's up, Eric?
Our newest patron, Eric L. Shout out to you, man. I remember it now. What's up? Big time is the word about the trade. How do you both feel about it? Okay, well, we'll give you a quick recap before we get out of here. Me and B are fine with it. This is kind of what me and B were saying about Orlando Brown's actual value, right? I know, as you know, I'm a Ravens fan. You know, we cover a lot of Ravens stuff on here. He's a good tackle, and fans always value their players more than other teams. So, yeah, a lot of us thought, hey, we should get a first plus, a player, something like that. But me and B always felt like he's not an elite tackle. He's a good tackle. He's not elite, and he's not going to get the haul that people think he's going to get. So, I mean, yeah, obviously I wish we could have gotten more, but this is fair. And when you're trading with another good organization, you're definitely not going to fleece them, right?
Yeah.
If this were Jacksonville, I would have expected more. But Kansas City ain't, they're not dumb. They're not going to give you too much for a player.
Jonathan Washington says, I'm going to be honest. I think KC adds AB. You stop it. You stop it right now. Okay.
Well, the word is he's going back to Tampa.
But it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see. Zeke Hokage says, a question for you. What would be best case scenario for the Ravens moving forward? You mean in the short term or just, period? Because, I mean, long term, to me, the best case scenario is John Harbaugh gets fired and they hire Eric Bieniemy and they build around Lamar Jackson. Short term, I'm thinking, for this draft, they come out of the first round with an offensive tackle, like a lot of people said, maybe the guy from OK State, and they walk away with a Rashad Bateman or Terrace Marshall or Kadarius Toney as well.
Yeah, for me, I would say if we're talking about short term, sign AB, right? I'm gonna keep saying sign AB. I know you guys get sick of me saying this, but he's still a free agent, and as long as he's out there, I'm gonna say sign AB. Sign AB. Draft a wide receiver. Draft a tackle. Right? That's my go hard on the offense. I want us to have AB, whether it's Toney or Marshall or Bateman, have and Hollywood AB one of those rookies as our top 3 wide receivers, right? Get a left tackle, hopefully. Right tackle. Yeah, get a right tackle. Hopefully, our interior O line holds up, and we have everything we need on that side of the ball. That's my initial, my early turnaround for this team. We need to be aggressive on the offense while we still can. Now, long term, I'm right along with B. Harbaugh can go. Honestly, I don't care. There's really not much for me that's going to change my mind on that. Even if we win a Super Bowl, obviously I wouldn't expect Harbaugh to go, but I would still want him to go. And here's why. The style of play that we're doing right now for Lamar is not going to extend his career. And that's not Lamar's fault, right? Lamar's not a run-first quarterback. They're just giving him a lot of run plays. And if we win with this style of play, they're not going to change. So they're going to run him into the ground. I want somebody that can really, one, protect him, and 2, unlock, all his potential, right? In passing and running. So no matter what, I say get rid of Harbaugh.
Jonathan Washington says, if Harbaugh gets fired, do you think the Ravens will go to the college ranks? I don't think so. I think they're too conservative to go that route. I think they'll go with a retread, honestly.
I don't know if they'll go retread. I mean, Harbaugh wasn't a retread. I think they'll look at position coaches and stuff like that. They'll do their work with that. They'll vet these guys. But no, I don't think it's going to be a college coach. Bieniemy would be perfect. And Bieniemy,
what?
What?
Yo, Brodny, why you got a gray streak in your beard? Why?
He's old.
Because I'm old, man. Why? Why do you think? Do you think I'm rogue?
Click One is just young, man. That's why you don't understand. He think we young guys out here. we're coach's age. You guys know Coach from Sip Italian fans. We're about his age. Well,
why didn't you ask Jose? That's what I'm really concerned about.
I keep that's why I keep everything cut short, because you can't really tell. You can't tell if it's just a light hitting off of it or what. You weren't really sure if that was gray or not. Yeah, it's gray. Attitude Pop wants to know, Mayweather or Logan Paul? You got Floyd. Yeah, Logan Paul's not a boxer, right?
It's
I
not,
don't care.
it is not possible for Logan Paul to even test Floyd Mayweather in a boxing ring.
No, it's not. It's not. They're just gonna go out there. They're gonna have fun for a couple of rounds, and Logan Paul will drop. And it may not even be a real drop. It might be a fake drop, but he has no shot of actually beating Floyd Mayweather.
Just Low says Monica Rambeau was the first female Captain America, just so you know. I did not know that.
I
Well,
missed
okay.
that. Oh, okay. All right.
Nice. Well, that's it's kind of interesting to see where they go with that in the MCU. Yeah, I never read the comics very much, so I didn't know that. Thank you.
Oh, see, here goes click one. I'll be looking salt and pepper. That's right. That's right. I ain't mad at it. Let the grace come. I'm good with it.
Let me see here.
Eric says, Brodny calling you strip from Gremlins. They see you just dated yourself, Eric. They don't know who
Right.
They don't know anything about Gremlins. They don't
I
know
don't
anything about
even
that.
get that one. Like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a cash app here for where are all them people who say Kyler Murray is better than LJ?
Ooh. And Spirit of Ogun says, put some respect on Brodny. Both Jose and Brodny are OGs. That's right. Who's a cash app fund? Can we say
That is from our man Jazzy J.
Jazzy J?
Appreciate
You, man. Thank you. Man, that's what's up. Man. I love you guys, man. You guys, look, I know I've been pressing you guys to, like and subscribe and support, but you guys support a whole lot, man. You guys show up to these things, man. Even when I think nobody's gonna show up to these live streams, you guys show out, man, and it's always a good time. We always have fun with you, man. So thank you, appreciate it. Let's see, PayPal. I saw your comment earlier, PayPal. You said fire EDC and hire you. That's fine, man. I'm all for it. We got to look at how many players Eric DeCosta has drafted so far. He's had 2 draft classes. I think both of them have been over 10 picks, right?
He's had 11 and 8.
11-8. So 19 picks so far, 19 players. And so far right now, going into this draft, he's got 9 picks. It might be 10. So now we're talking about maybe 29 players. How many of those players are you looking at saying, yeah, he can ball?
Like, it's funny because like when Dave Gettleman was the GM in Carolina, he's never traded down at any point in the draft, right? And so there was at least one year where they only had 5 picks. Mm-hmm. So it was very obvious why Carolina had tons of holes all over their roster. They didn't draft enough players. I don't know what the problem is in Baltimore, other than maybe Eric's not the guy everybody says he is.
Yeah. So, I mean, and again, before we find that out, look, that's not going to be answered for a while, because before those questions really start to kick up about Eric DeCosta, because the overwhelming majority is still on this EDC we trust kick, right? Before we start to question him, it's going to be Harbaugh, and he'll make sure of that. He will make sure of that. So Harbaugh will be fired before we start questioning whether Eric DeCosta needs to go or not. So
Jonathan Washington says, would you give up 3 first-round picks to trade up and select Kyle Pitts, even if it's probably not enough, but he's going to be a baller next level? I would have said trade Orlando this year's first and next year's first to move up and try to get into the top 10 and I would have gone for Jamar Chase. But I could see taking Kyle Pitts there as well. They absolutely need to go and try and get some superstar talent on offense.
Yeah, and I know it seems like a lot, right? It's like, oh man, that's too much. You can't give that up for that kind of player. But what did the Falcons give up for Julio Jones?
Yeah,
it was a lot, but I don't remember what it was.
They gave up 5 picks. It was a couple of
Julio Jones. Yeah, I know he's a great wide receiver. I know that. Right, you have to give up. Look, whether it's draft and you have to give up picks to move up, or free agency, you got to spend a boatload of money. You have to pay for elite talent. You can't just draft a guy in the 3rd or 4th and he plays well and you say he's elite. All right, like you have to pay for it.
Eric L. Thank you for both of you. Outstanding work, brothers. Thank you,
Appreciate you,
We
Eric L,
appreciate it,
man.
man.
Appreciate you, man.
Click one says, I love Jose and Brodny. Why else would I be sub to them? I'm just messing with them. We know, man. We love you too, Click.
We love you too, Click One, man. Appreciate you. And make sure you guys check out Click One's channel and subscribe to him as well. He's putting some videos out there. So, everybody support each other on here, man.
And listen, and while at it, Noah's not here right now, but check out Noah Driscoll's channel on YouTube. Check out Davon's podcast, the DJ and K Show.
Yes.
They're on, Apple Podcasts, and I assume everywhere else you can find them. I only look on Apple because I'm not a peasant, but I assume, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, they'll probably pop up there too. So yeah, check them out.
Yeah, so that's DJ and K Show, man. Check them out, man. Davon's a real cool dude, man. Attitude Pop says, all I got to say is something is awakening and a thunderstorm is coming. Lamar is coming. I'm telling you right now, Ravens are winning the Super Bowl next year and Lamar will be MVP. So
is Sam Cook your burner?
But I do want to say something about that. I was telling B earlier, if Greg Roman lasts through the whole year, it will be because Lamar Jackson is making another MVP run. And to be honest, it's not far-fetched to think that even if we don't make any other moves, as much as we're saying they have these holes and they need more help, Lamar could easily repeat his MVP season from a couple years ago. He was only 4 touchdowns away from 30 passing touchdowns this last year, and this was a down year, right? And he missed a game. You know what I'm saying? If he plays, granted he plays all 16 games, and the players around him get marginally better, right? If Hollywood gets a little better, if Sammy Watkins stays healthy, I mean, Sammy Watkins ain't a bad player. He's just, not consistent and he's not available. If he's available, right? Maybe Boykin and Duvernay. Yeah, they, if Mark Andrews doesn't drop a few touchdown passes, he could easily. In fact, I expect him to go over 30 touchdown passes. I expect that. Yeah. But if they lock in just a little bit more, he could be close to 40. What?
Tough puppy. What's going on, man?
Tough puppy, right on time at the end, at the very end. Man, I was so close to hitting end broadcast, man, and Tough Puppy is just like, do it now. What's going on, Tough Puppy? Yeah. Tough Puppy always showing up at the very end. This was even a scheduled live stream, but he knew when to show up. Appreciate you coming through, man. We always love when you come through. Frankie B, what's going on? Thank you for joining the live stream. Actually like the trade. All right, I like it too, Frankie B. I'm good with it. It's not one of those where I'm all hyped up because we lost a good player and we have a hole that we haven't addressed. Hey, have we talked about Villanueva? I'm not a big fan of Villanueva. Yeah. It's necessary at this point because even if we would have kept Orlando Brown, we still would have needed another tackle.
Every time, Tommy, you got notifications turned on but didn't get one.
Man, you know what? You need to follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter because we don't really tweet out when we go live, but Periscope tweets it out, so you'll know when we're live. So yeah, make sure you follow us on Twitter, and I gotta get a bit on Instagram. I'm gonna start.
I did tweet out that we were going live, just not what time.
Yeah, okay.
It's fun that way, right?
Yeah, and we've been doing We did one IG live. We're gonna start doing more of those for breaking news. In fact, we debated whether or not to do an IG live because I was still at work when this came out, and I ran out to the car. I was just like, let's do an IG live real quick. And I was just like, I'll just go home. And just do a live stream.
Tough Puppy says he likes the trade too. So I mean, it's going back and forth, and it's going in waves. We're gonna have to put up a poll on Twitter.
Ooh, poll time. Okay, yeah, we'll do it. We're gonna do a poll. Eric said he tried following on Twitter, but your account. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Twitter's not friendly to you anymore. That's because you're not friendly on Twitter, Eric.
Yeah, man. You got to be about peace and love on Twitter.
Yeah. All right, a couple more and we're getting out of here. Click One says, I opened Twitter and I see that Bucky Brooks said that we could potentially
No, he
trade up to draft Justin Fields.
No, he didn't. No,
He didn't say
not
that.
my man Bucky.
Did he? No.
No.
I can't. Yeah, I can't respect him anymore if he says anything like that. Yeah, Lamar in Hollywood, Andrew, Sammy, JK having fun. Yeah, I hope it shows on the field. I really do. I like seeing players locked in and working out together, building that chemistry. Is that it?
I do want to go all the way back to John Harbaugh, his words. He said, we are the army of the NFL. I just wanted a scenario if Justin Fields happened to fall low enough where he's within range.
Damn it, Bucky.
Wait, is he saying that? Is he being sarcastic or is he just?
No, it didn't sound like it. Come on, Bucky.
I'm gonna go and watch that whole clip because if he's really serious about that, I'm gonna have to block you, Bucky. Like I understand, I understand you guys gotta give your hot takes on TV and all that stuff. You guys say stuff that's clickbaiting, but that's ridiculous. What?
Jonathan Washington wants you to talk about it.
Do you think Villanueva will have any problems fitting in? Wasn't he the guy that went onto the field for the national anthem while his team stayed in the locker room and he crossed out Antoine Rose's name? Okay.
He was that guy.
All right, Jonathan Washington, we're going to be here for another 30 minutes. Yes, he was. And, I've kind of hinted here and there. I didn't want to get too much into it. But, when we talk about players that we want or don't want, namely AB and, players of his ilk that, they get in trouble off the field or, they've had some, dust ups with teammates. And we say, we don't want that guy. He's a problem in the locker room. He's a distraction, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Right. That's the problem I have with Alejandro Villanueva because, yes, he served our country and he was in the Army, Army Ranger. And, people think he's a hero. I think he's a coward. Okay. I think he's a coward, straight up. Not for, his time in the military, that's great and all, and maybe he did some missions that, he kind of put him in harm's way. And I respect that for sure. But the way he's handling these social issues and his opinion on those issues, I think is cowardly. I think you need to be a man and say what you feel, or don't say anything at all. Don't do anything at all. So the problem I have with him is, with the Steelers, they decided as a team they weren't going to come out for the national anthem, right? And at the very last minute, he runs out there to stand for the national anthem by himself. And of course, all your right wing media outlets are picking it up. Oh, he's the one true hero. He stood by himself and this is and that. So, now he's an American hero for that group of people. He comes out and says, hey, I didn't mean it that way. There's some miscommunication. BS. He apologized to the teammates, coach, all that stuff. Okay, cool. Maybe there's some miscommunication, one-time thing. The Antoine Rose issue. Antoine Rose was somebody who was killed by police in Pittsburgh, right? Another unarmed black person shot by police. So the team decided together. This wasn't impromptu. They had discussed it. They had discussed the issues. They had decided, hey, we are going to wear his name on the back of our helmets. Everybody agreed, including Alejandro Villanueva. At the last minute, he put some tape on over his name and writes in another name. It's a name of another Army Ranger, a black Army Ranger who died in battle. And I think that is very cowardly. I think that is very disrespectful to that person because, him and Antoine Rose. Because Villanueva doesn't care about that guy. He just found a black person to use as a shield, to use as a token, right? To say, hey, I don't have any problem with black people, right? Look, this guy was black and I'm honoring him. Well, that's not who you guys discussed, right? You went out there and tried to make a political statement without making a statement. Man up and say what you feel. And it's not just me that feels that way. His own teammates feel that way, right? Cameron Hayward said something about that. Another player said something about that. Ben Roethlisberger said something about it. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. He went on his own and did something that was completely different from what they decided, and that builds animosity. That's real animosity that builds up in a locker room when you do stuff like that, because you're saying, "Hey, I'm different than you guys. I'm better than you guys." Okay, that's when real problems build up in the locker room. So coming over to the Ravens, yeah, I wonder about that. I hope he doesn't pull those same antics over here. But look, I can separate my feelings from a player, a football player. So if he can come in here and contribute, it is what it is. I don't have to like him. There's a lot of people I don't like that I want on the team. So if he can come in here and contribute, that's cool. I don't know how much he can contribute, but at this point we have to get some depth at tackle. So it is what it is. All right.
Just a little says, every older male member of my family served in wars. I'm black, and none of them ever encouraged us, young generation, to join the military. That tells you something.
Yeah. Hey, look, same with us. I was in the military. Our parents were in the military. Our brothers were in the military. Our grandfather was in the military. Like, this is a military family over here, right? So, him hiding behind this, I got to stand for the flag because I served in the military. I don't want to hear that. The flag does not represent the military. Okay, no. It represents every American out there. You're not any more American than anybody else just because you served the military, and that's coming from a military person, from a military background, from a military family. All right, so Villanueva can't that excuse doesn't fly with me. I don't respect it. Jonathan Washington says, did I read this one? I don't mind him as a fill-in right tackle, but with every player that comes here, I want you to be a team player. And from his past, he doesn't show me that. I got more faith in AB has gotten himself straight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have to agree with his views. I don't care about that. Everybody's got their own views. As long as he's getting along with teammates, right? And he can play. Right, he could be a complete jerk, a complete a-hole. I could dislike him, but if he can come in here and play better than DJ Fluker, I'll take him. I'll take him. Yeah. Live a Legend says his uncle's in the military. So your uncle's a Black Panther in the military? That's what's up.
Yeah.
Or is it a different uncle? But, Jazzy JJ says, it does feel like the Ravens are just exploiting Lamar's athleticism, but have no real intent on further developing him. It does feel that way. And it's because they're winning right now, so they don't want to change anything.
Yeah, Jazz, this is looking very much like a Cam situation. That's why we go so hard on the front office to bring in offensive talent. Carolina brought in Cam, and they said, man, this guy can do it all. Let him do it all, and let's build elsewhere. And Baltimore's kind of going down that same road.
Yeah. G-Star 007 wants to know, should we trade both first-round picks in 2021 for Giants 11th or Cowboys 10th? Man, would they take that?
I mean, I don't know that they would take it, but I mean, at that point, like who are you wanting to target there? Are you looking at Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith? Because I mean, Pitts and Chase will both be gone. I think Sewell and Slater will probably both be gone. So, I mean, I guess it depends on who exactly you want at that position to say whether or not you'd want to make that move. And it looks like we lost Jose again.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yep, there he is.
All right, so we're going to end this because StreamYard is not liking us right now. So,
well, Jonathan's got another comment here. Okay. Even if you don't agree with the stance your team was making, at least you could have there we go. You should have had enough respect to let them know what you intended to do instead of taking it upon yourself. Exactly.
That's my whole thing, right? He made the first time he made it seem like, hey, it's a miscommunication. I'm so sorry about it. Okay, fine, right? But the second time you do it, no, that was intentional. And you could try to say, hey, I'm not trying to be political or make any kind of statement, but you did make a statement, right? And you made two statements. You made a statement saying, I don't support what their stance on this issue. I don't support that, and I don't stand with my teammates. I stand by myself. Because he could have easily said, hey, you guys, he could have easily said, I just don't want to get involved. I don't want to wear anything. And they'd have been fine with it. Right? But you agreed to do it. And then went and did something else. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. How many massages do you think Deshaun Watson received this month amongst controversy? As many as he can, man.
That would be something. He's still out there. It's like, I still need my massage, man. Mr. J the Sixth coming in at the end, man. You coming in later than a tough puppy, man. What's going on?
Mr. J?
Appreciate you coming through, man. We're still 36 deep in here. Wow. All right, man. We keep going for a couple more minutes. I do need to get out here because StreamYard. I had no control over StreamYard. StreamYard decides when how long we stay up here. Jazzy JJ says, how does Villanueva feel about that drill sergeant who abused and harassed that young black brother? Yep, walking through his neighborhood. Well, he
probably doesn't want to get involved.
Yeah,
probably not his business.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's not gonna say anything about that. But okay, hey, you guys. Yes, okay. The boys are down here.
So yeah, before we get out of here, we're gonna go through one more time.
Yes, I called
you
like
out, that, man. Show up on time, then. Listen, so we've got the ESPN Draft Challenge coming up. Obviously it ends on Thursday with the draft. Yep. So, the link is in the chat, or you can go to our Twitter, LBHT Show, and it's a pinned tweet. You can click that link, join the group. We're giving away a copy of Madden 22. And if you're not into Madden, just like an Amazon gift card. If you enjoy the show, obviously you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the month. If you really enjoy the show, though, you can go to patreon.com. And we got a couple of tiers there. We got a $3 tier that'll get you into our pick'em tournament. It'll get you into the overtime show that we do every Wednesday. We have a $10 tier right now where you can get one of these Founders coins.
Yep.
And that'll get you access to our fantasy football league that we're going to be running when the season starts. Yep. And also, if you get one of those coins, you get into that tier, it's going to kind of grandfather you in. You'll get all the other perks that we add from this point on. Yeah. And, we can also check out our website, lbhtshow.com. We write articles there. We have a Panthers mock draft up there. We do some articles on games. And we do, when the season rolls around, we do weekly breakdowns of the of the Panthers and Ravens games. And if you hit up lbhtshow.com/shop, you can check out our merch.
Yep. All right. Eric said he gonna be in my neighborhood later on, man. Yeah, hit me up. You can come through holler at me real quick. But all right, everybody, that is it for now. And like I said, at LBHT Show, okay, tweet at us, DM us, whatever. Let us know if you're gonna be watching Usman versus Masvidal. Maybe we'll do a live stream afterwards. Okay.
To the military. Click one asking about the coins. Did y'all ever make coins in the military? I know someone in the military that used to make cool military coins, but I never asked him if he actually made them in the military or after he left. Challenge coins are typically a military thing. You get them for accomplishing whatever. They give them out, but you get them in other areas also. Corporations give them out as gifts and whatever whenever you want to commemorate something, you can make a run of coins. We didn't. I mean, Jose has a couple of. You have a challenge coin from the military there, right?
Yeah, this is boot camp. Yeah, this is from my boot camp. I got some other ones around here in the house somewhere. I got from like a commander or something like that. But this one right here is when the boys was playing with it, so I found it. I was like, oh, okay, let me show this. But yeah, that's from my boot camp. Yeah. It's popular amongst military, but like B said, it's a great gift to give to people, And all right, Let me put this ticker up. I've actually never used this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Living Legends uncle did everything, man.
Hey, he's not. Cool. Hey, he's not a living legend for nothing.
That's true. That's true. It's hard to come by that moniker.
All right, y'all. We're getting out of here, man. We'll see y'all soon. Peace out.
Thanks for coming.